Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw here in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau Resort, and I'm here at the HBX Group Market Hub. Now, this is a new conference for me, but it really is an amazing conference. It's in case you didn't know, HBX Group is what we used to call hotel beds, and they have various divisions here. They renamed and rebranded themselves a year ago or so, and now they're having these amazing conferences that looks at everything that's going on in the travel industry, and this is one here in Americas. And I'm here today with Paula Felstad, who's the Chief Technology and Operations Officer at HBX Group, and we're going to talk a little bit about how HBX approaches technology and also some of the issues involving things like augmented reality and cybersecurity in particular, which is what Paula spoke to on stage just now. And we're going to talk about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Paula, first of all, great to meet you, and I loved your presentation on augmented reality and also cybersecurity.
Thank you, and it's a real pleasure to meet with you and to discuss it some more.
Let's talk first about your role at HBX. You've been there for how long now?
Nearly 3 years.
Okay, and what do you do there? I mean, obviously you have a tremendous database, a bank of all these hotels in the world. I think over 200,000, something crazy like that, plus all this other stuff. And what is your function in terms of dealing with that and getting that information out to your customers?
So my function covers both technology and operations, but it also includes data. So at HBX, we sit on a data lake of over 318 terabytes of data. And our job...
That's a lot of terabytes, isn't it?
It is a lot of terabytes. And our job is to make sure that that data flows as quickly and as accurately and as at high performance to all of our global partners across the world. So our job is to make sure that we are seamlessly connecting everybody to the highest possible performance and accuracy standards, but also to make sure that that data is available so that people can gain insights and knowledge in terms of what's happening in the market, how their personal revenue is going, what is their competitor landscape looking like. So we have multiple data products that actually enable people to thrive and grow in the travel ecosystem.
Now, in terms of hotels specifically, do you have the ability to give all this information and visuals and everything else on hotels as well?
So yes, we store all of that information, but we want to do a lot more. And I think this is really where we are investing every year multi-millions in terms of our technology, the data that we store, and our capabilities to process these images to make sure that we are absolutely at the leading edge of being able to support our hotels and partners, but also our distributors. One of the big things about HBX is not only do we have a massive connectivity to all of the hotels and partners, but we also have an unrivaled distribution network, which is how we are successful in terms of connecting those hotels with those distributors so that actually we're able to connect people who would not naturally be able to connect with each other.
Well, interesting, because I think there's a misconception here in the U.S. is we know HBX or hotel beds for the, my readers would know it for Beds Online, which is the product that they would use to really get access to amazing array of hotels and get commission on them. So that's what they like a lot, but they don't understand hotel beds as much. But you really are a B2B organization, right?
Yeah. And we're very proud of it, and we want to stay a B2B. We see ourselves as really being that infrastructure rails that connects everybody who wants to work in the travel industry with each other, whether it's a small travel agent all the way through to a large OTA. Our job is to connect people so that everybody has the same opportunity.
Now let's talk about some of the issues that you raised during your talk today. You talked about augmented reality, and we're all kind of, we all look at those commercials where they got people with the goggles on, and they're looking around and saying, boy, you better look at reality because you might trip. But that's another story. But you're seeing, what role is that going to have, do you think, in the travel industry? The products are getting easier, they're getting less expensive, but what role does augmented reality have in travel?
So I think it has a major role to play in the future. So as the devices and the interfaces for augmented reality become cheaper, more accessible, lighter, and not wearing those huge great...
Yeah, no, I don't. I think I'd trip and fall, and if nothing else, and I would weigh my head down, but that's...
Exactly. So I think as those evolve and improve, I think it is a way to actually enhance what a traveler can experience, whether they're at a hotel, a destination, or an experience. And I think that is really the opportunity that we have, is to actually give the traveler more opportunities, more choice, more insights into what is available to them, how they can access it. And the more that we can do that, the more revenue and the more growth that can be achieved for everyone in the travel industry.
Yeah, and specifically with hotels, we were talking about this earlier about where you can show your clients kind of what the hotel is, walk into a suite, which we see isolated cases of this. I see this all the time, but it's only like you want to see this cool thing and then you may never see it again. But if you as a travel advisor could do that for your client and really sell them on, oh, this suite or this incredible spa or this kind of thing, and you can walk around the hotel, right?
No, absolutely. And I think this is really one of the reasons that we wanted to mention it today at this conference, is to get the travel industry to start thinking ahead. So these devices, these interfaces for augmented reality will still take a number of years to come to life, but also to be available at scale for the average traveler to be comfortable using and wearing, other than the heavy goggles. Yeah, but I think this is really where we should be planning and thinking about what is the value add that we in the travel industry can leverage using these, even if it's not ready today or tomorrow.
Well, actually, it is coming fast, and I mean, it seems like just a few years ago that we started seeing these things, and now they're getting smaller. You were talking about the Ray-Bans, things like that, where people can actually look and see everything they need to see, all the information. It's kind of like one of those, sci-fi films that where we can look in the side of our glasses, like right now, you're my glasses, and we be looking at data at each other, right? So that would be different. Now, the other thing that you did talk about was cybersecurity, and that was as you said, the downer of the presentation, because it's a real problem, right?
It is, and I think it's something that we need to be a lot more transparent about. Everybody is experiencing the same thing. It's not just the big brand names that are going to be attacked. It's everyone is under threat every single day, and the more that we can actually be transparent, share the problem, but also understand that we're all vulnerable to the weakest point in the chain. So we're all connected to each other. That's what's great about the travel industry, is we're all connected to each other. With that comes the risk that whoever's got the weakest link in the chain will cause the rest of the chain to also have potentially more problems. So it's on all of us to really take cybersecurity seriously, but also work together, be transparent, be open, and share the learnings, because each one of us have got different experiences, and if we are able to share those experiences, then we'll all be stronger together.
Well, it seems like almost every other month or even every other week we hear of some major travel company or any company that has somehow gotten their database exposed and it's been hacked. Whether it's used is another story, but especially now in travel, because we're dealing with, and I asked you earlier when we were in the press conference about, we have tons of databases in the industry, and you really have to have everyone working together, as you said, to make sure somebody doesn't hack one and then it gets into the others.
Exactly, and I think this is where we all need to realize that the bad actors or the cyber criminals are very fast learners. So if they're able to identify that if they get in one place, they see that that place is working with someone else, then they will leap from one organization to another. And so therefore, this is why I am so passionate about making sure that we all work together and create a much stronger travel industry against the cybersecurity criminals.
Well, let's hope we can do that. It seems like an endemic. I know I talked to you about my little experience in social media where I got hacked. I don't even know what they got out of it, because it sounds like, some people you never see what they're doing and what they can do in the future. But it is a real problem, and as we get more databases, more technology, more things like virtual reality. We haven't talked about AI, because then they can actually do totally. We can actually. You and I could be AI right now, and nobody would know, right?
Exactly. And I think this is really where, the cyber criminals are great innovators. And actually, they're able to clone the voices, they're able to create deep fake videos, so you think that you're actually talking to a fellow human beings, and actually you're talking to an AI created version of yourself. So I think this is really where not only do we need to embrace it for all of the good things in terms of AI, but we also need to be very aware that whatever we don't embrace will be used against us.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us about your presentation, about what HBX is doing in terms of technology and travel. And you got a big job with all the data you have and all the hotels and all the products you have to distribute to your customers worldwide. Great to see you here at HBX, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.